Good morning, YPC League. Welcome to the Week 8 wrap up. We're going to start as usual with the champion. The champion got the win this week against Highview, putting him at 4-4. Highview at 2-6. The final score was 154.1 to 115.1. Theo Rubin was one of three teams to score in the 150s this week, as the three highest scores were in the 150s, with Rudy having the high score. The notable thing here that may be interesting going down the stretch is Alex Smith's production last night. He looked really good, and that may pose some kind of a dilemma for Theo Rubin going down the stretch with Eli Manning only scoring 7.9. I know that's not his usual score, but with Alex Smith playing great, what did he go, 18 of 19 last night? He looked great. He looked really good. I know it was against Arizona. It was supposed to have a pretty decent defense. They didn't look like it last night, but that could pose some interesting managerial issues. Theo Rubin had his number one scorer was Gronk at 37.6. Denny's was AP at 29.7. Nice production from Miles Austin, nice production from Crabtree, and nice production from Run DMC for Theo Rubin, which was the edge there. Kind of put him in the win column with those four guys. We're gonna move on to the next score. Let's go to the game of the week, which was Rudy and Rubin. Rude got the win impressively in bye week, hell, with his twins, not his triplets, but his twins on bye week. The final score there was 158.9 to 123.3, putting Rudy at 6-2 in second place, and Ruben at 5-3, tied for third place, but with Lions Den edging him out points wise, which is very interesting. It's going to be tight in that division, as we already know. The big thing here for Ruben is that he didn't have any production from Drew Brees as he usually does. 20.8 is what I'm used to, but not what Drew Brees is used to or what Ruben's used to. And Ruben's backs fucked them. They didn't produce like they should. Rudy has Manning, his highest scorer at 36.7. Ruben's highest scorer was Demaryius Thomas at 29.7. Who is Cecil Shorts and where is he coming from, and who's throwing to him? He's producing, so it's a nice little grab there. He has his good weeks and his bad weeks just like any other player, but he's put up some nice consistent numbers. Like I said, Rude gets the win there, impressive win. Interdivision game, very, very, very big. We had some other interdivision games we'll talk on, but Rude gets the win there with the high score of the week, putting him, like I said, in second place underneath Jimmy. The next game, we're going to go to Lions Den and Busta. Another interdivision game, very big game. Lions Den gets the win with 136 to Busta 118.4. The high score for Lions Den was Brady, 42.5. He had a phenomenal game in London. And for Busta, it was Eric Decker at 20.3, followed by Aaron Rodgers at 19.7. So, with the Giants D scoring 24 and Willis McGahee scoring 24.5, Tom Brady at 42.5. I mean, those are some nice, and Ronnie Brown, nice little 17.2 actually. So nice win for Lions Den, putting him at third, tied for third place, but the edge out with the points forced. The next game we're going to go to is going to be the heartbreaker of the week, Ben versus Tookie. A much-needed win for both of you guys. Intra-division, this is kind of going down the last stretch of the season. A tenth of a point. I didn't think that was going to happen due to the fact of our scoring system, but it happened. The edge here was you looking at both of your guys' benches. They both have monster games with Witten and Stafford. Ben actually having the edge, obviously, because of Stafford. Unfortunately, you guys didn't play either one, and that was a huge just deciding factor. So Uncle Ben's high score was 29.7 with Ben Roethlisberger, who's been playing well. I would have played him over Stafford because Stafford hasn't been doing well, especially against Seattle. And then Took, sitting Phillip Rivers, I was surprised you sat him. I mean, that actually got you the win because Hasselbeck scored almost 10 more points than that, and Phillip Rivers against the Browns, I would take that every day. But you went with your gut. That's why you manage your team, man. Jason Witten on the bench, like I said, hurtful loss puts Took at 3-5, tied for third in the AFC, and putting E Street at 2-6. The next game is going to be, let's go to Sheepy and Jimmy. Those are two, the top first place in the AFC versus first place in the NFC. Jimmy flexes muscles scoring. This was actually a really good game when you look at the box scores. I mean, the biggest thing here, I'm looking at quarterbacks. Matt Ryan, 41.9. Josh Freeman, 40 points. They're going head to head. They're shadow boxing. And then they're boxing each other out. Then you have Matt Forte, 20.4. LaShawn McCoy, 21.7. You go down, they're boxing it out head to head. The biggest thing here was the Packers D, that block punt for the touchdown. Huge score. So if you look at the difference here, to me, that's a difference maker. There were some guys on Sheepy's bench that would have helped out. I mean, could have got him the win, but that's kind of up in the air. Mike Williams over your two other receivers, I'm not going to do that. And then Lawrence Tynes. I mean, kickers are a crapshoot, man. Putting Jinx all by himself and for an impressive 7-1, first place in the NFC, and Sheepy's tied for first with Theo Rubin in the AFC. Nice job, nice win for you, Jimmy. Impressive, 7-1. The last game was against me against Shit and Pants. I got a much needed win after all his shit talking. Him having the most points scored in the whole league. Just goes to show you, man, any given Sunday, which is what's so fun about fantasy football. The big story here was Doug Martin on Thursday night. Starting off the week with 48.4 points is a great way to start the week, as we all know. I've scored 30-plus points on Thursday night before with Brown, and I didn't get the win, so I wasn't counting any chickens before they hatched, especially with the way Shit and Pants has been putting up a lot of points. So I was able to weather the storm, got the win, putting me at tied for actually fourth place in the AFC at 3-5. Shit and Pants at 4-4 and fifth place in the NFC. So the way the seasons go, the first 4 weeks is kind of like the introductory period. It's kind of like the honeymoon. Everyone's excited about their teams, kind of seeing how it's going to work out. If they don't work out, everyone's scrambling, trying to get trades in. And then the middle half, everyone's just kind of on cruise control, seeing what's going to happen. This is the last push. The last weeks 9 through 12 is going to be the push to kind of make up the difference for those teams that aren't elite teams like Jimmy's 7-1 team. Jimmy 7-1, Rude 6-2. They can go on a little skid here and lose first place, but they're definitely going to be making the playoffs. I mean, by looking at it, Jimmy's got a pretty good chance. I don't think he's got a chance of not making the playoffs. If he loses, we won't talk about that. Don't want to talk about anybody losing. But Sheepy and South Bay Longies tied for first in the AFC, and me and Took tied with Sheep having the points edgewise over the champ. And then me and Took tied for second place, but actually Took's got the edge at third. I'm at fourth, Highview and E Street, fifth and sixth. Jinx by himself, and then Lions Den edging out one good fella. Very impressive, solid third place team. Black and Pants isn't out of it. All that league is all still up in the air as far as I'm concerned with the third and the fourth spot. So next week, there's a lot of good games. I was looking at it earlier. Interdivision, week 9. These are kind of like the games that are, I don't want to say must win, but it's pretty much, except for Jimmy. Jimmy's playing Highview. He doesn't really need to win there. Highview definitely needs to win. Rude and Black and Shit and Pants, they're going to be going against each other. Interdivision game, very important. And then Sheep and E Street Raiders. If Sheep beats E Street Raiders, it's going to be tough for E Street to come back from that. And then the Hallway Series, the classic Hallway Series, no longer a Hallway Series, but dad against son. We got 2 dads against son games next week. Me and my dad and Uncle Ruben and Little Rubes. So the trade deadline was pushed back to kind of go along with the ESPN standard setting. I can't make a trade if players are locked, so I went with the ESPN's cutoff date of you can only do it on a Wednesday, so that's why I switched it to a Wednesday. So it's 2 days pushback, similar to the NFL lockout. We don't have a hurricane going on over here, so at our league headquarters, but that's what's going on with that. Not too big of an issue there. It's just from the managerials, or from the commissioner standpoint, to let those trades go through the last minute, people making last minute trades. But it will be week 10, the Wednesday following the Monday night game of week 10. And thank you for the South Bay representing the Halloween party. It was great seeing you guys. It was nice having we had 10 out of 12 league members here. It was nice seeing you all. Much love for doing that and making it out here. It was great seeing all you guys. Thursday night game, Chargers versus Chiefs at the Qualcomm. We will be there. Hopefully we won't see a debacle again. Chargers are playing like shit. Get in your, if you guys are thinking about trades, start getting those worked out. If you guys want to do some trading and get your lineup set. All right, gentlemen. Peace.